Hey guys, welcome back to Fiber Laser Training. So today we're going to teach you how to do a coin, and y'all need to be watching so y'all can learn.
That's right. The only way to learn is to watch and listen. All right. Well, turn around. Let's see. So we're going to launch the EasyCAD. And I'm not going to turn my machine on because we tried numerous different ways. I'm going to have to come up with some constructive way to get good audio with all this loud background noise on. All you YouTubers out there, help me. Tell me what I need. Some people that have already. Okay, so this is EasyCAD. I'm using the 175 millimeter lens for this coin. That's the lens that I like to use only because of the beam diameter size. It's a little better at making a smooth bottom finish. So we're going to start with trying to line the coin up. That is always a pain point for most people. I have a jig for my coins. It's repeatable. That way you can flip the coin over and backwards and forwards and all that stuff. Let me turn this thing off so it ain't making noise. But it's always a pain point to line these things up, even any type of work holding fixture. I guess a jig is to be able to do repeatable stuff. This would be work holding. And to do it with a jig is much the same way, but a lot of people don't have the quote unquote jig. So we're just going to use my little XY table here. And I'll put two bolt heads in here, and that'll just kind of set the coin up against that, and we'll be able to find out our center point and figure out. Now, for educational purposes, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time centering this coin. I want to show you the idea on how I do it, and obviously it is inferred that you could spend as much time as you wanted to on getting this as precise as possible. But the first thing that you need to do is make sure that what you're telling the laser to mark is actual size that it's marking. So if you say you want it to be a 39 millimeter circle, you need to mark the circle and measure it and make sure it is indeed 39 both ways. We don't want an egg-shaped circle. We would like a circle, 360 degrees, perfect circle, 39 by 39, because that's what we told EasyCAD we wanted it to mark. So if you don't know how to do that, I will try to cover that in another video, but for the time being, we'll just assume that everybody's circle is perfect and we'll move forward. So I'm going to open the pi coin that is in the profile picture. Well, that didn't work out yet. And the face of the pi coin. And that's it right now. Like I said, we're in demo mode, and I'm going to undo the hatch because it helps us a little bit. So by undoing the hatch, I can ungroup all this whole art here, and we'll check it out here. And that's our art, and it is the coin in which that I actually carry personally in my pocket. Except for I fixed this coin. This coin's jacked up. The A's are not at 9 and 3. They're at like this. So I went in and fixed the A's to where it's 9 and 3. But old Noah, he's looking for his piece of the pie, right? That's why we do that. Piece of the pie, circle of unity. Lots of different reasons. Stan would like to think that it was because of the rotary, but we'll work on that. We'll see what's happening. And I would like to give a shout out real quick to Robert. I was supposed to train Robert last night, and this video ran over, and he was very understanding, and we're going to train him next week. So thank you, Robert. So in any event, I have selected my outer circle here, which in this case is 34.8 millimeters. And I've only selected the circle because I've ungrouped everything, and we know that I only selected the circle because if I select the circle and we ungrouped everything, we could pick others and delete. It only leaves the circle. If you don't know what that little jewel is right there, you are missing out. This guy right here is called select others or pick inverse or pick others, depending on your version of EasyCAD. But it is a very helpful tool. But I'm going to select just the outer circle, and we're going to go down here and show our contour. And, well, Noah, you know how to light it up. Light it up. All right. Oh, I guess this is the part where I would need to turn the laser on. And cut.
We're back.
So, yeah, you're back. All right, so what are we going to do, right? We've ungrouped it, and you're going to select that circle, and we're going to light this circle up. Cool. So now that we see that our circle is lit up, and I'll probably have to do voiceover because the background noise is just crazy. But you can see our circle is lit up. We're pretty far off the mark where we need to be. All right, and it's pretty, easy. Like, okay, well, that's easy. I'm going to line it up. All right, well, there's a few tricks that I've used in the past, and I don't know where I've seen them. I definitely didn't come up with them, so somebody else's video is the reason that I know this trick, and I don't remember who it was. And I was just showing Noah last night that you can take your finger and you can block the red light. And if you notice, if you see under my finger, there's no light because it's on top of my finger. Well, I can see exactly where the edge of that line is. So it makes that a little bit easier to line up. I can see that it's down in that groove, and you can, actually I lined it up pretty perfect on accident just by hand, but so let's just say it was a little bit off. And you could see, hey, there is the line. And we can use our handy dandy XY table and move it over till it's right there inside that groove. We know that it's inside the groove. We go over here, and it's hard to see, I know, on camera, but I can see that we're on the coin face, so I move that over till we're right down there in the groove. Look, check this side. We're in the groove. Now, our coin is perfectly centered. Or not perfectly centered. Our coin is centered for the most part. Well, I take these little anodized aluminum cards. Of course, you can get these on our website, but you can get them for a lot cheaper on Amazon, but they're a lot thinner. Like these things are tougher than a hickory knot. They're hard anodized. But you can get the ones on Amazon. They're like 20 or 25 bucks for a 100 pack or something. And they work really well. Nothing goes out of my shop without being on one of these cards. But these are the real nice cards that we sell to local businesses and whatnot. But another thing you can do to help line the coin up is I got another little piece of plastic here. It's just the same thickness as the coin. I set it down there, and I'll set this card on top of that, just like that. And, well, Noah, when I tell you to, hit the mark button. All right. So now I'm not going to move anything. And if you can see the top of the coin, you can see that it's very hard because the laser head's in the way. But you can see that the outline of the silhouette of the coin groove, the art misalignment groove here, it pretty much correlates with this right here. And so you can use this card, and if you say, okay, I need to make an adjustment. Because it actually looks like it does need to go this way a little bit. So I move it that way just a little bit, and you can just barely move the card. And hit it, Noah, mark it one time. And so now I can see that it still needs to go over just a little bit. And so I can move that card one more time and mark it. And now I can see that over here, which is very hard, I assume, for you to see on the camera, but now I can see that my ring is pretty much in the center of the groove. And so, therefore, it's pretty much telling me that this coin right now is, for the most part, centered on the coin face. That groove is about, I want to say it's about a 1/2 millimeter, so the groove total is 1 millimeter across on both sides. So it's not super hard to get it down in that groove, but this will help you a lot. If you don't have these black cards, no love lost. You can always take a Sharpie marker, just any Sharpie marker, and we've scratched the coin from running it around. But I mean, you can take any Sharpie marker. You can cover the whole thing if you want, but really I'm just concerned about this right here.
The sides.
Yep, that's right, the sides, the part that
we really need.
Yep, that's right, that we really need. Good job, Noah. And so, hold on one second. Alrighty. Excuse me. All right, now Noah, light it up and see. So it looks pretty good. And I'm going to move the coin out of the way a good bit and off-center it. And you'll kind of see what happens there. So go ahead, Noah, and mark it once. And it's really hard to see. Let's see if I can get it to, well, it's really hard to focus. But there's a little white line on the edge of the black there. So, and actually I'll do it for you. Here, light it up, Noah. Okay, now hit F2. Okay, so maybe that's easier to see. You can see that white line. And we're doing this at super high speed and low power. So we're really not affecting the coin that much. And so Noah, it's lit up right now. I'm going to show people that white line. So go ahead and mark it right there. Up. Go ahead and mark it again. And you can see this white line. There, you can barely see it there. But in any event, it's there. You can see it way better in person. And obviously, like I said, we're doing this at super high speed and low power, so we're not really affecting the metal. It's pretty much like a surface mark. We're just taking the black off the coin,
Awesome.
which makes it a little easier to line up. The circle, it'll see right here in the circle is in the object list. That's what's highlighted. So now that you have that selected, then you know how to light it up, and you know the little finger trick I just showed everybody. And even if you need the card, use the card and line that coin up. First off, let me make sure it's not lined up now. And how about that? I don't want to make it too hard for you, but that's definitely off. It's almost on the coin there, and off the coin here and over there. So I want you to do it from scratch. So go ahead. Yeah, you can take those off for right now. All right, so you got the circle selected, and you know that.
And
It says circle, so now what's next? We're going to line it up, right? Use your finger first. See, because this costs money. Your finger's free. If you can't get it with your finger, use your finger. And just do the one side at a time. Just worry about right here. Is it in the groove?
Yes.
All right, now put your finger on the other side. Is it in the groove?
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
looks like it's a little on the wall. Yep, wrong way. There you go. Now, look, check it again. With your finger, right there at 9 o'clock. Is it in the groove?
Yes.
I think it could stand here. Put your finger back. I think it could stand and move just a little bit more right there. Now check the other side. Nope, right here, same side. Or, and I think we went a little too far. Yeah, there you go. All right, now check this way. Which way does it go? Here, I'll put my thumb and you see it. Oh, I can't see it. It's hard to see, ain't it? Right there on that side, right there on that side. And I'd say you just lined up your first coin there, buddy. And you can put your glasses on and check it. All right, don't move anything, and now let's get real close and look. Is the circle in that groove?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like it is. And go. So now that you've got the coin lined up,
Yep.
and you like it, right? Does it look good?
Yep.
And like I said, for educational purposes, we did not absolutely make sure it was 1,000%, but hopefully you get the idea of how to do what we just did. So I'll go ahead and use our Select All tool, and we'll group everything together, which we can do Control G to do that. Same thing as pressing this button. Just like Control U is ungroup, and now you can see group is readily available. So we'll Control G, group everything, Control H, and hatch it all. In this particular coin that I use brass I do something similar to this in all metals, but brass, we use the bidirectional uninterrupted hatch type at .04 line space. You'll soon know that this angle is not important for anything. And I'll discuss my Tesla rule later, but we're using a 63-degree angle. And hatch 2 and 3 pretty much follow the same suits with using different pins. And that's actually the wrong hatch type. But they pretty much follow the same suit using different pins, and but it's pretty much the same settings. .04 line space. That's a pretty tight line space, especially being that the beam diameter is .05, so it's kind of like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back every pass, which is kind of what we want a little bit. And you'll notice that I don't use crosshatch. We never use crosshatch, ever, do we? Nope, never. All right, and you'll find out later in a future video, but everybody says, why are these lines in my engraving? And that's one of the reasons. So I generally never use crosshatch. There's very few areas in which that I use that. But we're pretty much doing the whole, all 3 hatches the same way. And then this is the hatched version of said coin. And I'll deselect it. We'll go over here to the pin settings, and I'll show you now. I'm going to give you the disclaimer now. Your mark's going to vary for sure. I mean, we got different lenses, different power sources, different everything. But these are the settings I use for this coin. And like I said, this will get you in the ball field. You'll still have to find your seats. But on pin 0, we're using 800 millimeters a second at 100% power with 65% frequency. And now this is on a Racus source. So my frequency band is 50 to 100 on the 50-watt Racus.
When we're doing the circle, that's the macaroni. Then when we're adding those, that's the cheese.
That's right. Yeah, man. We're trying to get some macaroni and cheese. All right, and on pin 1, which is the blue pin, our speed is 1,000, power 60, frequency of 60. And then on pin 2, the red pin, our speeds jumped up a good bit to 2,200, power of 40, and frequency of 50. We've decreased that a little bit. Down here, I go ahead and put my total count of 60 in. And we select it, kind of double check everything. We already know everything's good and in focus. And, well, give me 1 second, and we'll start her up and see what's going on. Sorry, I said cut, and, you know, my camera guy, he's all over the cut thing, so it's good. But I'm gonna do a time-lapse video of this to try to speed up the process. And then we'll go from there, see kind of where we're at, see what it looks like, see what kind of depth we got. At this line spacing of .04, it's going to take a long time. Well, I say a long time comparatively. It'll probably be in the neighborhood of 50 minutes to an hour or so, I would say, respectively.
Time lapse.
And that's why we're going to do the time lapse. So So we're back, coin's done. I've cut the laser off. The coin is done. Noah's dying to show it to you. So Noah, go ahead.
So we finished the coin. It's right here. It's really nice. This took like 50 minutes actually.
No, it took a little longer. When we talked about it, it was about 50 minutes. The total run time was around 1 hour and 4 minutes. Terribly long time. But if you can see, and I'll try to do some still frame pictures and post in here too, but I mean, it's pretty deep. I would say respectively, it's probably only 1/4 to 1/2 millimeter deep here. What do you think? It's pretty though, huh?
And I'm gonna say something. So we're actually gonna give this coin away, and so just comment your name, then I'll do a spinner wheel and put your names in.
Okay, so like a random drawing? And what do they have to do? Is the comment?
Yeah, comment their name.
Comment their name?
And that's it.
Awesome. So, all right, guys out there in YouTube land, Noah says he wants to give you a coin that we made today. So comment your name in the comments. And are you talking about the little randomizer wheel? Oh, okay, so like they do, well, for giving away stuff, a little random wheel, and I guess we'll have to do another little video and give our coin away. Oh, well, now we got to make you a new coin because this one's all dented and whatnot.
Yeah, but it'll be the same way. It'll be good.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you learned a little bit. I definitely didn't even scratch the surface of what really has to go on. You know, I gave you some settings and starting speeds and whatnot. My next intention is to do an actual in-depth deep engraving video to show you why we did the things we did. Why did we use, you know, the bi-directional uninterrupted hatch? Why did we do this angle and so on and so forth? So it's my intentions to, you know, do a good bit more in-depth coverage on it. But hopefully this will get you off to the races. And, well, thank you, Noah. I think you did a good job, buddy. And he wants to give his coin away.